Tuesday, October 26th, edition of the Carolina Weather Video. A lot to talk about. Dynamic storm system in the Midwest that'll play a significant role in our weather over the next couple of days. And another blast of pretty chilly air moving in for the Halloween weekend. Let's get right into it. First of all, I had a relatively active weather day yesterday. A number of severe thunderstorm warnings issued, and then even a severe thunderstorm warning around 11 o'clock or midnight that affected Stanley, Montgomery, Moore counties. And a number of wind damage reports through our region. That's all the blue dots you see on the map. Now let's go to what's happening as I'm cutting this video. This is during the 5 a.m. hour. And first of all, the blue shaded counties, those are wind advisories. This is a dynamic system with a lot of wind energy. And all the red outlying counties running from Arkansas and Mississippi up to Michigan and Wisconsin, those are all counties under a tornado watch right now. Had a batch of rain and embedded thunderstorms lift through our region this morning. This is how the radar looked at 5:15 this morning. Some pretty heavy rain moving through the Triad over toward Jacksonville. That area was racing northeastward. And I mentioned this is a very, very dynamic storm system back in the Midwest. You have a low pressure right about here. Just a very significant flow of warm, moist air ahead of it. Nice punch of pretty chilly air behind it. And the result is some showers and thunderstorms. And notice that squall line that's forming. We'll be able to track that all day. It looks like that'll largely hold together as it tries to move into our area sometime later tonight. In fact, here's what the SPC WRF model does, and this is at 4 a.m. tomorrow. And that's when it has that squall line bowing down into the Piedmont of Virginia, North Carolina, and into the upstate of South Carolina. So we'll be tracking that squall line with time. There you go. A high risk of severe weather today, especially this morning in Indiana and Ohio. Moderate risk surrounding that, and you have the slight risk extending all the way from near Vicksburg, right on up through Charlotte and the Triad, all the way up to New York. Big slight risk. And then here's tomorrow. The slight risk as the front punches in, roughly I-85 and points east, although it's in actuality a little farther north and west than that. So here you go. This is the upper air chart for today. And this is a potent low pressure that's cranking up here in the Midwest. And the whole trough taking on a negative tilt, just a ripe severe weather setup in those areas in that moderate and high risk, I should say. Let's go out to Thursday. And notice another little piece of energy on the back side of that trough. That'll really drive the chillier air in here, and you'll notice the difference by Friday for sure. All the way out to toward the end of the cycle, or at least the middle part of the model cycle. This is out in the middle of next week, November 3rd in the evening. And a lot of the modeling has been around the 3rd, 4th, or 5th, wanting to put a big trough in the east, but I'm waiting for any more consistency on that to really get too gung-ho about the prospects of that, but that is a possibility. Let's focus on what's happening here the next several days, though. Today, after the morning rain clears out, I do think there's the chance of a few isolated showers or storms through the rest of the day, but they'll be hit and miss, and most of us probably dry through the day. But tonight, we'll see that squall line approach. GFS doesn't really move it in until tomorrow, but again, I think it might be quicker than that. A lot of times these squall lines can outrun the modeling, and I showed you the WRF a moment ago. So we probably, after midnight, will see that squall line try to drop in. Some of the storms could produce some damaging winds, and I can't even rule out a brief tornado or two. And with the front only slowly progressing through the area tomorrow, I'm going to maintain the chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. But Thursday, looking largely dry. Can't rule out maybe a lingering shower early, but I think that front progresses far enough east that Thursday is largely dry, kind of breezy as well as we begin to see that cooler air move in. And then Friday, we'll be in the 60s for highs with full sunshine. Saturday, 60s with full sun. And I still think we're well down into the 30s for lows across the Piedmont Saturday morning. Some chance that some of us will see a frost Saturday morning. Sunday looks beautiful for Halloween, high of around the lower 70s in most spots. And so for the trick-or-treaters this weekend, there will be no weather problems at all. Looks great. Early next week, it stays largely dry until at some point next week we see that next system try to move through. So we'll see about the timing of that. Okay, so that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Remember, severe weather is a possibility with us over the next 48 hours, so have a reliable way of hearing those weather watches and warnings. And, of course, keep it tuned in to us here at News 14 Carolina. We're going to, as always, keep you completely up to date. All right, that's it. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and God bless.